Popping bottles in the ass. Getting SLAYdhd. Oh my god, my ADHD, it's leaving my body. Do you love me? Good morning, girls. Today is a very exciting day because I finally got ADHD meds. Yeah! And pretty much today I'm just going to be vlogging my experience taking ADHD medication for the first time. I've seen a lot of other people do this on my journey with ADHD. If you don't know me, hi, nice to meet you, I'm Adam. I have ADHD, recently diagnosed. I've been waiting these little pills for 2.5 years. But it's fine, because they're finally here. And yeah, watching other people's videos of this was like very interesting to me, so I figured I would do my own. A lot of people have some very intense reactions to these pills because obviously ADHD can actually be deceptively debilitating. I don't think a lot of people realize how difficult it can be to live with, and apparently these are a bit life-changing. Like apparently your brain just like goes quiet and you're actually able to get on with things, so I'm really excited to try it. I've got a little granola. It's like a proteiny, yogurty granola kind of vibe. It has 50 grams of protein in that, guys. But should I take it? They've started me off at a lower dose to begin with. Oh, it's called lisdexamfetamine, by the way. What? The more common name for it is like SLAYdhd. And I'm on 20 milligrams for the first week so that I can, you know, slowly get into it, and then 30 for 2 weeks, and then I go up to 40 and we reassess. There is a potential for a lot of side effects, so you just have to like test out what works for you. So, pill talk. You're supposed to take it with food, that's why I've got my granola in front of me, but I'm gonna popping bottles in the ass, getting SLAYdhd. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Oh my god, my ADHD, it's leaving my body. No, so it's, it's supposed to take like 1 to 2 hours to come into effect, so I'm gonna go eat this. I'll just check in if I start to notice that I become normal.
What is that?
What the fuck, I tried to do like this. What just happened? Anyways, no more ADHD for me, please. Almost an hour and a half in. I don't know if I'm feeling anything yet. I mean, I am editing. I've just got my laptop out and been like, oh, I'm gonna edit. But like, maybe my expectations were a little bit high, but I feel like I'm not noticing the difference that I've seen a lot of other people notice when they like start it. I think the main thing that I've taken away from a lot of people's videos is that they say that their brain sounds so quiet. And I don't know, hang on. That might have seemed like a really weird test, but do you know what? Normally, my brain would have went off on a tangent in that time that I was sat there thinking, but I was solely thinking about whether or not I was noticing a difference. Interesting. So we're just past the 2-hour mark, and I do think I'm a bit more focused. I think I'm just too much of an overthinker for this kind of thing, because I've heard so many people talk about the way that their mind changes and stuff like that. I think I'm sat here thinking like, is something different? Am I feeling different? Do you know what I mean? But I think I just need to let it happen and see. I think something that I've definitely noticed in the past like 45 minutes to an hour is that my thought patterns feel a little bit more like in one line, whereas normally all of my thoughts seem to kind of happen at the same time. It feels like I can have a thought and stay on that thought for a while, which is something that I'm not used to. Okay, it's a few hours later. I mean, I literally am just sitting in the same place because I'm literally just going to be editing all day. I do feel like I'm a lot more focused. I feel very on it with this video and stuff like that. So that is a pause. I don't think I'm noticing too much of a difference in terms of like my general mind, but I will see how that plays out through the day. Also, I just got a new t-shirt. How funny is this? It says milk makes my tummy hurt. One thing that I will say, the loss of appetite I think is kind of real, lucky, because I can feel that I'm hungry right now. So I was like, let me make something, but everything that I had in the house was literally making me feel a little bit like sick. I've made some just like instant noodles because it felt like the only thing that I could really stomach, but I haven't taken a bite yet because I'm still just a bit like bleh. But the positive is I do feel pretty productive and I'm in a good mood. I just like went out for a quick walk with Jake to the shop and there was a proper pep in my step. Do you know what I mean? I was like, and I feel like I could tell that Jake was like, what's wrong with him? But there's nothing wrong. I'm just in a good mood. And also, milk makes my tummy hurt. So it's the end of day 1 on my meds. I think at this point it's probably worn off. It's supposed to last about like 12 hours or something like that. I feel like at first I didn't really feel like it was doing anything, but I think it was because I was expecting a little bit more of a drastic change. But like looking back at my day, I definitely had a bit more focus and attention, but I don't know how to describe it because it wasn't like I was like hyper focused like how I sometimes can get. I was explaining to my housemates earlier, like I think sometimes my issue in general, just like with ADHD and stuff, is like I hyper focus on something and then, for example, I can edit and sit there and just be like tick, 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 but I'll ignore all of my bodily functions. Like, I'll literally be sat needing a wee, I'll be hungry, and I won't really realise. Whereas today, it was almost like I could actually kind of like focus enough, but also like pay attention to my body. Like, I was able to edit and also go and do other things. Like, I left the house 2 times today, and each time I got back and kind of just like carried on working. It sounds like such a simple thing, but I'm assuming anyone clicking on this probably knows a decent amount about ADHD and stuff like that. But the way that I was able to just get on, I feel like I wasn't like noticing it in the moment. I just kind of had the thought and was like, yeah, I'm just gonna get on with that. Also, conversationally, Jake said that he even feels like he noticed that I went on fewer tangents and stuff, and I feel like I was like noticing it myself as well. Again, the only way that I feel like I can explain it is that my thoughts were just on one like path, whereas usually they're all over my head and they're all happening at once. I also said to my other housemate Rivara, I feel like I have this like perpetual tiredness that I've experienced pretty much my entire adult life, that like I can remember, probably during my teen years as well. But I feel like no matter what I'm doing during the day, it can just be so exhausting. Like, again, even just like breaking my focus from something and going to the toilet, when I get back, I feel exhausted, even though physically all I've done is go for a wee. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like I wasn't experiencing that today. In general, it feels as though that like perpetual exhaustion that I feel every single day from the amount of mental energy that it takes me to exist kind of felt like it had essentially evaporated. Again, I feel like a lot of these things sound like really simple, but they are things that I struggle with day to day, and today I really didn't struggle with it. And I am excited and also curious about like what the higher doses are going to do to me. As a general review of ADHD meds, I feel like I've had such a productive day. I know it's like bad language to use and stuff, but I just feel like I was normal today. I feel like it's just felt kind of calm in my brain. Not necessarily quiet in the way that I've seen a lot of people talk about, but then I also don't know if that's me just taking it really literally and thinking that my internal monologue is just like gonna turn off. I don't think that's necessarily how it works, but again, it just feels like my thoughts have flowed in like a comfortable way, and it's just been like a serene day. My brain has felt like a blue sky. It feels like someone just rinsed my brain. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that was my day on it. Unless something crazy happens, I probably won't vlog the rest of the week, but as I go up in doses and stuff, I'll probably add in some updates. I'm really happy. Hey! So I've been on the 20 milligrams for a week. So today was officially the day that I started the 30 milligrams. Bit of a recap of the last week. I do feel like I was a little bit more focused and I have had a productive week, but then I was already in kind of a good place and being productive anyway. So I feel like I'm like gaslighting myself. I'm gaslighting myself. Gaslighting myself into thinking that it was like placebo or something. Regardless, I still had a very productive week and a good week, but I'm excited to like be on this higher dose. I'm pretty much just gonna be editing all day again. But yeah, that's it. I'll check in later. Hello. So we're a couple hours in now. Something that I was noticing last week and something that I think I'm picking up on today as well. One thing that I struggle with a lot is that I feel like I kind of have to wait for motivation to come to me. I find that most tasks, even if it is something really easy that's going to take me like 5 minutes, it will be put off for a really long time because I'm waiting for the motivation to come and kick in. And then when it does, I do it so quickly and kind of have that internal monologue of like, this really didn't take long. I don't know why I put it off for so long, blah, blah, blah. I'm not necessarily doing that anymore. Like, I'm not having to wait for the motivation to come to me. It just seems like it's there. Things that in the past I would probably put off or ignore, I just get on with it. For example, I had like a little pile of dishes that were on my desk. Normally, they would probably stay there essentially until I have no dishes left, and that kind of forces me to go down and do them. Whereas, you know, there was only like 2 or 3 things there today, but I was like, oh, I'm already going down, I may as well just grab it and do it while I'm down there. Which I feel like is kind of just like a normal thing to do, but with the way that my brain works, a lot of the time that doesn't happen for me. Like, logically, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to the kitchen, but my brain will be like, oh, but I can't deal with that right now. Or like, there'll be something in the way that can really just like put me off of doing something. That's been really interesting and something that I'm really appreciating about all of this. Yeah, I feel like I can just get on with things and there's not as much of a barrier there mentally. In terms of any side effects as well, I haven't really noticed anything too much. I feel like in the first couple of days on the 20 milligrams, I felt like I was maybe noticing a little bit of an appetite thing, but it still didn't really stop me eating because I'm also on a bit of a weight loss journey and I kind of keeping an eye on my calories and stuff, and I'm trying to do it in a healthy way because I do have some disordered eating habits and stuff like that, you know, whatever, don't have to get into that. But I know generally how many calories I need to be eating to stay in my calorie deficit, but also feel full and sustain myself. And because of that, I know what I need to be eating at around what times and how much I need to be eating and stuff like that. So even when my appetite felt like it was a little bit like meh. It wasn't bad enough to where I like could not eat. Other than that, the only side effect that I think I'm really noticing is I am getting a dry mouth. I feel like I noticed that for the first couple of hours after taking it. It's a little bit worse today than it has been in this past week or so. But I definitely have a bit more of a dry mouth today. Oh, and I do notice that I get a little bit jittery in the first hour or two as well. It's definitely settled a lot more now, but I noticed this last week as well with the 20 milligrams even. Not to any point where it feels like it's like getting in the way of anything. So those are the kind of side effects that I'm noticing so far, but they don't feel very intense at all. So like it's not anything that's like gonna put me off of it. Like I've already mentioned, I'm going up to 40 milligrams in 2 weeks. I will keep on top of whether or not I feel any other side effects or anything like that. But I think also because of the fact that my doctor has prescribed me it in like smaller doses that are gonna slowly increase, that also may be helping with like any side effects or whatever. Either way, I'm pretty happy about that. Oh my god, my hair is crazy. So this isn't actually as much of an update about what it's like being on medication, but more about the days where I'm not on it, because something very interesting happened yesterday when I decided that I wasn't gonna take it, purely because I was drinking that evening. They recommend that you don't drink on it. I have twice, I'm not gonna lie, but that was because I looked on Reddit because I feel like Reddit is where you get the real tea, guys. Come on. It is obviously just a recommendation to do with the fact that apparently stimulants can make you feel less drunk than you actually are, so then you end up drinking more and obviously just get like too drunk. However, yesterday I knew that I was going to be drinking a little bit earlier in the day because I was going to Catty's gig, love, so I didn't take it yesterday. And when I tell you, throughout this whole thing I've been saying, oh, I don't know how much it's affecting me, I don't know if it's working, and yesterday when I didn't take it, it has made me realize that it is definitely working, because I had quite a lot of stuff that I wanted to get done yesterday, and a lot of the time pre-medication I would write a lot of these things out and I would hardly ever get anything done. But since being on the medication, a lot of the time I do actually get the majority of the things that are on my to-do list done. Obviously yesterday I hadn't taken the medication, I had written out my to-do list, and I struggled so much to get anything done yesterday. I feel like because I've been on this medication now for like 2-ish weeks, I've almost like gotten used to the fact that like, oh my god, like I can actually do all of this stuff. Again, it's like I say, it was a moment yesterday not taking it where I realized that it really does help me. So that was very interesting. A wasp just flew into my room. You better get the fuck out. Oh my god. 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 Get away. Oh! Oh my god. Oh my god. I can't get out of here. I can't get out. Oh my god. Oh my god. Ah! Oh my god, I don't know what to do. I think it flew away. Wow, that was an embarrassing thing to catch on camera. Oh my god, that was horrifying. I think it just flew back out though. It was just hanging about me though. What do you fucking want, mate? Piss off, it's my room. Anyways, that's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to update. I'm still on 30 milligrams. I will be going up to 40, I think in a couple days. So I will keep you posted on how that affects me as well. Hello! So I have not vlogged at all today. It's actually now 8:30, but today was the first day of 40 milligrams, so I thought I'd just do like a bit of an update. I have had a very, very productive day, to be fair. I've done a lot of stuff. In terms of like side effects and stuff like that, the dry mouth, I'm constantly having to drink water and stuff, which I guess is not necessarily a bad thing because I'm staying hydrated or whatever, but like I am definitely experiencing a very dry mouth. Yeah, I'd say in general, it's working. I'm really enjoying it. Love it. I have my review thing on the 20th. I don't need to tell you the fucking day. So yeah, I will let you know how that meeting goes. But other than that, I don't really have anything else to say. And I'm actually quite hungry now, so I'm gonna fuck off. So I went to see my ADHD doctor today. Obviously just was having a check-in to see how everything was going. I'll give you guys a bit of a general update in terms of the 40. I think it was good. However, I was experiencing a bit of a crash in like the afternoon time, to the point where 2 of the days over the past like week, I ended up literally falling asleep. Like I was like, I need to lie down and have a nap. Like I'm so tired. I feel like this might be because I have burnt myself out a little bit. Obviously being on this medication means that I can get a lot more done. And I think that I may have just overdone it because I'm not used to having this level of motivation and energy and stuff like that. I've checked off so much fucking shit from like to-do lists and stuff that I've been meaning to do for so long. So I'm really glad that I've got that stuff done. But these past couple of days where I've been experiencing a bit of a crash, I've been like, what the fuck is going on? Like I've literally got a stimulant in my body and I'm still feeling like I need to like have a lie down. So I mentioned that to her today. I didn't really talk about like the burnout part of it or anything like that. I did just kind of mention it. And basically what we're gonna do, she's kept me on the same dose, but she has prescribed me another version of it called dexamphetamine, which I'm assuming, yeah, just means that it's like a little bit stronger, because she basically said that these little 5 milligram pills that she's prescribed me are equivalent to 20 milligrams of what I'm currently on. And basically I'm just gonna have those in the afternoon if I'm starting to feel a little bit of a crash, and that should kind of like prolong the effects. So that is essentially the plan over the next month. Like I say, I'm gonna be on 40 milligrams of lisdexamphetamine and with a 5 milligram of dexamphetamine. But yeah, that's kind of it. It's
Hello.
As soon as I hit record, I started needing a shit. BRB. Okay, we are freshly shat and ready to chat. So, I've been on the ADHD medication for a good couple months now. I actually filmed everything that you just watched quite a long time ago, and I've just had it like sitting in my hard drive for when I was like kind of ready to do the wrap up. That's what I'm doing right now. We're gonna be telling you my thoughts. You know, like I say, I've been on it for quite a long time now, and I feel like I'm like fairly well versed in it all now. So the last thing that I said, I was about to start the little 5 milligram things of dexamphetamine. Now, I did do that for a little while, but I'm pretty sure he was right, he being me a couple months ago, about the whole burnout thing, because I'm not gonna lie, I didn't end up really needing those dexamphetamine tablets very often. I kind of just stopped that and we just stayed on the 40 milligrams, and that's what I've been on for the past couple of months. Because yeah, the whole burnout thing that I was talking about was real AF. Oh my god. I can't believe I just said AF. But it was real for sure, and that is something that I have definitely learned. Now that I am out of the like titration phase, I pretty much consistently, at least once or twice a week, will have a day where I just don't take it. And those are my ADHD days. I am literally just like, I'm not gonna take the medication. I'm not gonna really do anything unless I'm feeling it, because I just found myself just getting burnt out, because obviously it's not actually a very normal thing to be that productive every single fucking day. Like, especially because I had just started it and I was so excited about it. There was a good like 2 to 3 weeks where I was just productive and doing so much stuff every single day. I think that is ultimately what burnt me out and is the reason that I was having this crash in the afternoon. But yeah, I mean, on my days where I do take the medication, I'm still on the 40 milligrams and I'm pretty happy with it. I think something that I have learned though is that it obviously isn't just like a fix-all. Going into this, I wasn't necessarily thinking that the medication was just gonna completely get rid of my ADHD and cure me or whatever. But I think I've said it a couple times throughout the video, I feel like I was maybe expecting a little bit more of a drastic change. So what I've realized with taking the medication is it's like, obviously it's just an aid. So for example, obviously I had been living my life pre-medication with ADHD, and like I had been diagnosed slash was on the journey to diagnosis for long enough that I kind of knew a lot more about ADHD and about how I needed to accommodate for my ADHD in order to function. So, you know, I have a lot of like different coping mechanisms and like little things that I have learned help me get on with things. Like it can be things as simple as like, I now keep my toothbrush and toothpaste next to my bed, because sometimes, especially pre-medication, even the littlest things like brushing my teeth were difficult. Like the idea of me having to like get up and go to the bathroom at, like would just involve so many steps and stress me out and stuff. So now keeping it next to my bed means like I consistently brush my teeth twice a day now, and like that is something that I have struggled with. Just loads of little things like that, almost like life hacks but more like ADHD hacks, I guess, of things that just help me day to day to function a little bit more normally. And I think all of those things combined with the medication is just like the ultimate recipe for like productivity and amazingness. Because yeah, the medication obviously can help me focus and zone in, and it's been really, really good. Like I love my ADHD medication. I'm so happy that I'm on it, but they are not a fix-all. Like I don't know how to word it. Like it just doesn't get rid of my ADHD. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't take the pill and it's just magically gone. It's just that it aids a bit, as well as all of these other things that I've put in place aid me as well. So then all of that put together, I think is what now is like making me really able to function a lot better. Does that make sense? So yeah, and then also in terms of the side effects, it was quite interesting watching that footage back and seeing me talk about side effects, because I'm not gonna lie, I think the majority of any side effects that I have had have kind of like gone now. I don't know if it was just because during that like titration phase, obviously my body's getting used to it and stuff. Like the appetite thing, I don't necessarily feel nauseous anymore, but I have found sometimes it's like it turns my stomach off for a bit sometimes. A lot of people will wake up, like an hour or so before their alarm, take the medication, and then go back to sleep so that when they wake up, it's like already kicked in. Because yeah, it takes like an hour or two to kick in. I personally find that it's like about an hour, but I have been doing that. So I'll kind of like wake up, take my medication, just like go back to sleep. Or even if I just like get to lay there and be comfy for a while, I don't mind. After a little bit of time, it starts to kick in, and then I wake up and I'm literally just like, I'm ready for the day. And do you know what's funny? When I do wake up before my alarm and like take my medication and stuff like that, it is actually crazy how well the medication can work with me sometimes, because when I wake up at that point, I'll sometimes not even have the energy to open up the pill box or whatever. But then when I manage to do it, I go back to sleep, and then I wake up and it's like that has melted away. It's really bizarre, but in a really good way. Like, I really enjoy that I now feel like I'm kind of like waking up ready to slay the day. Oh yeah, and the hunger thing, that's what I was saying. Sometimes when I wake up before my alarm, I'll wake up and I'll feel very hungry and I'll be like, oh my God, I'm excited to eat later. But then I take the medication and I wake up and I'm literally not hungry anymore. And like my tummy can be like rumbling when I wake up first, and then after I've taken the medication, I will wake up and it's just like gone. It's like I say, it feels like my stomach has just turned off. I'm not even thinking about it anymore. Generally, that wears off after about 2 hours for me anyways. It's not that crazy. It just means that a lot of the time I don't really have breakfast. But yeah, I mean, I can't really think of anything else that I really need to like update you on, or if there's anything else that I need to say about the medication, I guess. If there is any questions that anyone has, you can like leave them in the comments, or I could maybe, if there's gonna be like a lot, I could maybe do a follow-up Q&A. Maybe that would actually be a good idea if people would be interested in that. I could do a follow-up like Q&A thing and talk even more about how I initially started the diagnosis process and all of that stuff. So if you would like that, I can do that. That being said though, on my Instagram, I have compiled like pretty much all of the stories that I've made over the past couple of years that have pertained to my ADHD diagnosis and journey and all of that stuff. And I've pinned them onto my profile. So I can still do that Q&A, but also like there's probably going to be a decent amount of like answers and stuff on that pinned story. So if you want to go and have a look at that, feel free. It's fairly long because, you know, it's been a long like 3 years at this point, but I know that when I was starting my ADHD journey, things like that were really interesting and helpful for me. So I've done it for you guys. But yeah, love my pills. Woo! Love them. They also do really put me in a good mood sometimes. Like, I feel like I will wake up in that like tired moment and be like, oh, like I really can't be arsed. But then, you know, I go back to sleep and wait for the pills to kick in, and I literally wake up like, good morning, Baltimore. Do you know what I mean? Anyways, I will go. Let me know if you do want the Q&A or whatever. On that note, I'm off. How did I film for 21 minutes? What the fuck was I even talking about?